At proportions today, and proportions are really simple. When we had just regular multiplication, we said we multiplied straight across. In proportions, with an equal sign in the middle, we cross multiply. So what I do here, 5 times x is just 5x, and 4 times 7 is 28, and we set them equal to each other. So all I have to do is solve for x. I would do it by dividing by 5, and I get 28 over 5. Down here, when I multiply, I would have 9 times this quantity of x minus 1, multiplied by the whole thing, equals 3 times 4, which equals 12. I would distribute this 9, so 9x minus 9 equals 12. I would then add 9 to both sides, get 9x equals 21. When I divide by 9, I would get x equals 21 over 9, and I should try to reduce always if I can. I can divide both those by 3, and I would get 7 over 3. At this time, I'd say pause the video and give these two over here a try, see if you can figure them out. All right, cross multiplying here, you get 12 times x will equal 6 times 4, which is 24. Divide both sides by 12, and this one comes out evenly as x equals 2. In this one, when I have x times x, I get x squared equals 32 times 2 is 64. I simplify this by taking the square root of both sides. And remember, anytime I take the square root of 64 is 8, but anytime I introduce that radicand, I have to make it plus or minus 8, because 8 times 8 is 64, but negative 8 times negative 8 is also 64. Now, there's two other kinds to look at here. In this one, when you cross multiply, nothing much changes. I would get 3 times this quantity x plus 1 equals 2 times the quantity x minus 1. And I would need to distribute these in the same way. I would get 3x plus 3 equals 2x minus 2. And I need to try to solve for x. I would do that by subtracting 2x from both sides. That would give me an x plus 3 equals negative 2. And I would subtract 3 from both sides to get x equals negative 5 as my answer. So x on both sides, just make sure you get it all to one side and solve like normal. In this one, when I cross multiply, x times the quantity x minus 4 equals 3 times 4, which is 12. So x squared minus 4x equals 12. Anytime I have an x and an x squared here, I want to bring everything onto the same side of the equal sign. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. That leaves me with equals 0. Anytime I get this quadratic here like that, we're having to do, well, our favorite F word, we need to factor. Factors of 12 that subtract to give you 4 are 6 and 2. Bigger number gets the sign in front, and this sign here, the only way I can make it negative 4 is if it's a positive 2. If two factors equal 0, that means each one of them equals 0. So x plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 6 equals 0. Solve each of them. X equals 6 and x equals negative 2. So you could have 2 or even more answers as a possibility when you're solving these problems.